Hello students, welcome to my lecture series on quantum mechanics. In the chapter approximation methods, we have seen the perturbation theory, variational techniques. Even in the last class, I have started the WKB approximation. We have seen the general theory of WKB approximation, and so we have got these equations. That is 5 and 6. These are the equations in the last class we have derived. Okay, so let us go through once again all these things in the previous class. So in this WKB approximation, we are taking the change of wavelength with respect to x must be less than 1. That is slowly varying potentials we are taking. This is the original Schrodinger equation 1. By taking V of r is slowly varying potentials, at the turning points the wavelength will become tends to infinity, and near the turning points we are expanding potential linearly, that is by using the Taylor series approximation. So by using Taylor series we have expanded the potential, and higher order terms we have ignored, and we took up to the first order, that is the linear order we call the slope of the straight line, and that we have taken as f0. Then after substitution into that original Schrodinger wave equation will lead us exactly solvable differential equation in terms of the Airy functions. Okay, so fine, this is the theory, this entire thing. So we are trying to find the solution of the Schrodinger time independent equation with unknowns amplitude AR and the phase factor SR, and the relations between AR and SR. Finally we got like this: delta S square will be something 2m E minus V and all those things. So now anyway we are like most of the cases we are interested for the one-dimensional problems. Let us treat the situation for one-dimensional motion of a single particle. One-dimensional motion of a single particle. One-dimensional motion of a single particle. This is the topic. So equation 5 and 6 were derived for the 3 dimensions. So now the same equation 5 and 6 for one dimension case will become. So equation 5 will become in the one dimension case. So that is ds delta s. This will become d by dx of s. Okay. So we have the situation will be whole square is there. Then we can put equation 5 will be like this: ds by dx whole square is there. That can be written as square root of 2m into E minus V. That E minus V is the momentum. So that is ds by dx will be is equal to plus or minus P of x. That entire quantity will be the momentum of a particle which is moving along x-axis. For example, we have considered the one-dimensional problem. No? That is only x-axis is okay. Now what about the equation 6? Equation 6 will become so equation 6 will become like this. So 2 times d by dx of log a into P of x plus dp by dx will be is equal to 0. Kalante denne em rachu 1 by a, that is 2 by a into dA by dx. Okay, so 2 by a into dA by dx into px. So then ds by dx will be, here it is dp by dx. Okay, so 2 time derivative term. Okay, dp by dx. Okay. Fine. Here we have used ds by dx is equal to p of x. Del square term is there, that is d square s by dx square will be is equal to dp by dx. That I have used here in deriving the equation 8. Okay, now we need to solve equation 1, 7 and 8. Now we need to solve equation 7 and 8. So equation 7 will have the solution is very simple. Direct variable separable method. Equation 7 will be of variable separable method. ds will be is equal to plus or minus p of x into dx. Integrate with the proper limits. Then I have s as a function of x will be is equal to, with the proper limits will be there, maybe some x1 to x2. p of x some dx. We call this is the equation number 9. Then we can solve even equation 8 also. That equation 8 can be written as d by dx of 2 times log a of x plus log of p of x will be is equal to 0. కావాలంటే దీని డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ చేయండి, మళ్ళీ మనకు అదే టర్మ్ వస్తుంది. ఓకే ఫైన్. సో differentiation of something will be 0 means that must be constant. So this 2 will goes to here, that is log of a square plus log of p will be is equal to 0. Then we can apply the product rule. I'm sorry, here I need to keep the constant because we are eliminating the differentiation. Let's say the constant will be some c. C is equal to constant, integration constant అని కూడా చెప్పొచ్చు మీరు. log of p a square will be is equal to constant c. So దీని నుంచి p a square will become e power c. That e power c is again a constant. So that becomes a as a function of x will become c square root again a constant, that will be is equal to p of x. So even as it is amplitude must be real and positive, that it can't be imaginary. కాబట్టి మీరు స్క్వేర్ రూట్ లోపల p of x. Okay fine. So this is the question number 8, sorry equation number 8, and this is the equation number 9. That is equation number 10. So if you observe clearly, we have able to solve what is s of x and what is a of x with some constants. C will be the constant that can be determined from the boundary conditions of the problem. Okay. So now let us substitute the equation 9 and 10 in equation 3. So where is that equation 3? Here is the equation 3. We have assumed the solution will be in this form. Substituting this equation 9 and 10. Substitute equation 9 and 10. Equation 9 and 10 in equation 3. When you substitute in equation 3, we will get the two solutions. Because here also square roots involved. Plus is one solution and minus is one solution. S of x is that is psi. There are two solutions, plus one solution, minus one solution, plus or minus x. Constants also plus or minus divided by square root of course modulus of px, exponential plus or minus I by h cross integration px dash some dx dash. We can call this an equation number 11. So for the differential equation, we are able to predict the solution, approximate solution of the Schrodinger wave equation, where we have assumed potentials vary slowly and the wavelength lambda is equal to h by p will be finite, and that we have estimated, and we have compiled, and finally we got the equation number 11 will be. Now think of the cases will be here. So 3 cases will be possible. There are 3 cases will be possible. What are those 3 cases? 3 cases are possible. That I'll tell you what are the 3 cases. Three cases are possible. What is that case 1? What is that case 1? Case 1, for example, the energy of the particle will be greater than that of the potential energy at any point. Then obviously kinetic energy will be positive. That implies linear momentum will be positive. So this is called the classically allowed region. This is the classically allowed region. So here psi of x, whatever we are taking, psi of x is oscillatory type. Oscillatory type. Sine and cos functions will be involved. So psi of x oscillatory function means you can write in terms of sin x, cos x, or otherwise combination. What is that combination? E power ix. E power ix will be is equal to cos x plus I sin x. Complex analysis ante ala rayochu. So the most general solution of the Schrodinger wave equation will become, so equation 11 will become, equation 11 will be the solution, that is psi of x will be the linear combination of the both the possibilities. Linear combination of the both the possibilities. So one is of c plus divided by square root of modulus of p of x exponential I by h cut x px prime dx prime. Another one is c minus square root of modulus of p of x exponential minus I by h cut x p of x prime dx prime. You can call this the equation number 12. That is the general solution of the Schrodinger wave equation. Okay, remember this can be written as in terms of sine and cos. So whenever energy of the particle is greater than that of the potential energy, kinetic energy positive, potential energy positive, then the psi of x must be oscillatory function. That you need to remember always. So this is the classically allowed region. This is next case 2. Case 2. You take the case 2, where the energy will be less than that of V of x. That is kinetic energy negative. That is momentum is negative. That is classically forbidden region. Classically forbidden region. So negative vachindi ante the wavelength lambda whatever we got, that is h by p. So p itself lambda h by p means that is a square root of 2m into e minus v, that is p, that is it will become square root of 2m even that will become not negative, imaginary. 2 into m into total energy minus potential energy, that will be of imaginary number will come. As the momentum is imaginary, then this is also something like imaginary, but that is not true. We need to consider here only the magnitude. When we are talking about the, we need to talk about the magnitude of the linear momentum. Okay. The solution of the Schrodinger wave equation in this case will be written like this. Psi of x will be is equal to linear combination some c plus constant divided by square root of amplitude must be positive, that is modulus of p of x exponential 1 by h cut integration x px prime modulus, remember only modulus value, dx prime plus c minus square root of modulus p of x exponential minus 1 by h cross modulus, remember that is the equation 13. Okay, so one is of something looking like exponentially growing up, another one will be exponential decay type. Okay, so there whenever the situation will be there, depending upon the situation, we see what is the valid expression అనేది మనం చూద్దాం అక్కడ. Okay, what about the third case? So classically allowed region is over, classically forbidden region. That is case 3. That is E is equal to V of x. That implies kinetic energy will be 0. That implies linear momentum will be 0. That implies turning points. That implies turning points. So the problem will be here at the turning points. So how to calculate psi of x at the turning points? We must validate that. So at the turning point momentum becomes 0. Once momentum becomes 0, amplitude becomes infinity, even wavelength also becomes infinity. All these things are the meaningless. Then how to calculate that particular point? So at that particular point, obviously we need to take the help of the Born that is approximation. We need to take that approximation, WKB approximation. What is that approximation says? Near the turning point you expand V of x and determine the solution. Okay, so that is the case. Here we will apply the WKB approximations. So WKB approximation, that logic we will apply here. Okay, fine. So this is the general formalism. Now we see the condition for validity of this WKB approximation. The condition for validity of Born approximation. Okay, that I'll write only in terms of note, that you don't need to worry about that. That is, I'll tell you the condition. So condition for validity of WKB approximation. So what is that condition for validity approximation? Means the term in a equation that we have derived, that is h cross del square s, must be less than that of del s whole square. So h cut 2 times differentiation, you put s like this, is less than that of single time differentiation but whole square. Okay, so from here we can write this will be like this: h cut s double prime by s prime whole square will be less than 1. But we know lambda will be is equal to ds by dx will be is equal to ds by dx will be is equal to, that is s prime, that is equal to p of x. Okay, so this can be written as d by dx of h cut by s prime is less than 1. So d by dx of 1 by s prime minus 1 by s square into ds prime by dx. So from here d by dx of 1 by s prime will be is equal to minus 1 by s prime square, and this is obviously s prime means d by dx of d square s by dx square. Okay, that's what we have. Okay, but s prime is p of x, that I use here. D by dx of h cut p is less than 1. So now we define lambda bar as a function of x will be is equal to lambda x by 2 pi. So this will become lambda bar now. H by p is a lambda. H by p is the wavelength lambda by 2 pi, that is h cut by p will be is equal to lambda by 2 pi, that is equal to lambda bar. With this d by dx of lambda bar modulus is less than 1. So this is the condition, means I'll write this condition and I'll write what is the meaning of this. Okay, fine. What is the equation number 13? Okay, so this you can call as the equation number 14. Then after simplification, this we can call as the equation number 15. What is the meaning of this? The rate of change of de Broglie wavelength is small. That is, the wavelength of the particle must vary only slightly over a distances of the order of its size. Okay. So ikkada wavelength annadi, that is rate of change of wavelength. Rate anacha with respect to x ani. De Broglie wavelength is small. It is less than 1 and it is small. Rate of change of de Broglie wavelength is small. So this is the condition for validity of WKB. So WKB valid avali ante, you can call this will be the condition. Okay, fine. Yeah. So ఇది మనకు థియరీ మొత్తం. మనం ఇప్పుడు క్వాంటైజేషన్ రూల్స్ డిరైవ్ చేద్దాం. యా, సో నెక్స్ట్ అవర్ ఏం విల్ బి, మనం ఏం చేయబోతున్నాం అన్నది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మనకు. సో దెన్ వాట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ విల్ బి హియర్. సో WKB మెథడ్ ఉపయోగించి వాట్ ఈస్ అవర్ ఎయిమ్ నౌ. సో ఇంకేం చేయబోతున్నామంటే, సో బై అప్లైయింగ్ WKB, so we need to obviously determine the energy, eigenvalue of energy levels, then wave functions. Okay, elanti potentials, that is important. W పొటెన్షియల్ దేనికి వ్యాలిడ్ అవుతుంది మనకు? స్లోలీ వేరింగ్ పొటెన్షియల్స్. Slowly varying potentials. It is valid in slowly varying potential. Okay. Fine. So by applying the WKB, we need to determine the energy levels, that is energy eigenvalues, that is En, and the wave function psi of x. Okay, అన్నది మనం కనుక్కోవాలి. సో ఇక్కడ మనము 3 కేసెస్ లో స్టడీ చేస్తాం. కేస్ 1, బౌండ్ స్టేట్స్ ఫర్ పొటెన్షియల్ wells with no rigid walls. So there is a potential well, assume that there is no rigid walls. There may be a rigid wall at one side at one turning point, or there may be a rigid wall at the 2 turning points. So with walls, without wall, one side wall, in the other side will be there is no wall. That is, one side is rigidly fixed, other side is free. Both sides are free, both sides are reached. So that will be we are getting 2 cases, 3 cases. That all 3 cases we will study. Okay, fine. So that we will study in the next session. Thank you.